Happy Flosstube Friday, friends. My name is Kari. This is Tiger Lily Designs. Welcome to Flosstube episode 120. Yay, we're here. It's 120. It's been a hot minute since I was here. Lots have happened. So many things. Table is full, as always. That just seems to be the thing I say every time I come. But it is true. Today I have stitching and market and haul and Tiger Lily update and stories and life and oh my. So grab your stitching, grab something cozy to drink, and let's dive in. Okay, friends, let's just jump in as I love to do. We're going to go through a little bit of table of contents as I love to do, just to let you know what we're going to be talking about today. Today is going to be all over the place. And that's what happens when you're gone unplanned for, has it been 3 weeks? Has it been 4 weeks? I don't know. I didn't go back and look. It's been a hot minute and life has just been throwing me curveballs. I am like a professional juggler now. That's just all there is to it. Just juggling the curveballs. But we're just going to go through all the crafty things I have been up to for a while, plus market and haul and life at the end, so you know what I have been doing and what I'm going to be doing, in case that's something you want to know. There's a lot going on. Like I said, professional juggler. I need a hat. Maybe I need a t-shirt. I don't know. But let's dive into the stitching first. So where I left you, I don't even know. I don't even know where I left you. I feel like it was 3 years ago, maybe 3 weeks. But either way, it was sometime pre-market. Let's just go with that. So I'm lucky enough to be able to go to Nashville Market because I have a subscription box. In case you didn't know, I have a subscription box called the Keeper Club. Here's my assortment of keepers. There's the Keeper Clubs from years past. So I have a quarterly Keeper Club subscription box. And yes, I do make the keepers, but I like to curate 3 to 5 small business, new, stitchy, find something new and fabulous to share with you. And that is what I love to do at Market. And this was no different. It was great. Now, of course, I'm not going to spoil it for you, but I can tell you, very excited, that I have curated at least 3 items for the quarterly boxes, as well as 2 fabulous custom exclusive items that are going to be included in the Advent box. Now, again, Tiger Lily shop update and all that has to do with is later on in the show, in the episode. But that is why I get to go to Market. And so I am lucky enough and I love to do it. It's like a little stitchy reunion. Listen, anytime I get to hug and play with my stitchy friends, because nobody lives close. A couple of them do live close, but we haven't made a point to get together yet. We talked about it. Anyway, so I love being able to see my stitchy friends and just be surrounded by the stitching community. It is fantastic. So I'm getting ready to go to Market. Now, because of the curveballs, TBD, to be discussed later, I didn't book my trip until like 3 days in advance. That's just how my life is rolling right now. So I ended up being able to fly down to Nashville. Super excited about it. Last time I drove, it was a 10+ hour drive. So I wasn't mad about the fact that I was flying, because when I'm flying, I get to knit. So I did do some knitting, just some vanilla sock knitting. That's my best thing to do, especially when you're squished in the middle seats, because that's what happens when you book 3 days in advance. You get the middle seat on the airplane. Not my favorite, but that's okay. So I got down to Nashville. It was super great. Alicia from Fanciful Flamingo was my sweet mate, my roommate. It was so much fun. For the weekend at the Embassy Suites, we did all the things. But as I'm going to start, which it's just going to be a timeline. Now, in true full disclosure, I'm probably going to be all over the place. That's just all there is to it. So I hope you're ready for it. If this is your first time catching me, get ready, buckle up, friends. This is going to be a roller coaster, but I'm trying to stay on task. But when you have so many things to chat about that I haven't filled you in on, I could pinball all day long. Anyway, let's talk about what I shared. Now, if you follow me on Instagram, you have seen this. Okay. I'm a little over the top and I'm okay with it. I'm a goober. I'm a little over the top. I had all the friends tell me all the things and I'm okay with it. You know, I don't call it a problem because it's not a problem. I appreciate the animal cracker addiction that I have. I'm going to create a support group and we're all going to be here to cheer each other on because it is a good addiction to have. I've got 2 animal crackers fully finished right here, watching me, just waiting for more friends to come. And so what I did, so I'm going to Nashville, right? And I'm like, this is like 2 days before. And I'm like, well, am I really going to stitch in Nashville? Chances are no. Let's be honest. Chances are no. But just in case you're going to a stitchy retreat, I'm the maker of the keepers. I need to bring at least one project, right? Okay, well, I could have just packed up one of my existing keepers. No problem. They hold 4 projects, easy peasy, you know, one in each zipper, one behind. Great. But I was like, but how do I choose which animal crackers I'm going to bring if I can only bring 4? Well, I have talked about it before that I wanted to make a dedicated keeper for my crackers. And so that's what I did the night before I left. The night before I left, I decided I'll pack the clothes tomorrow. Right now, I need to create this custom keeper. So that is what I did. So that is what this is, a jumbo. It's a little bigger than the average keeper. It's fussy cut, Tula pink. If you don't know, I love Tula pink. I love Tilda. I love all the fabrics. Multi-crafter here, maker of all the things. But so I have quite a stash of Tula pink. Now, Tula pink is known for her love of animals, crackers, animals. You get where I connected the things. So look at this. This is the tabby cat. A lot of these are out of print. Tula pink fabric lines. This is Dabo, my dog. I mean, he's not pink. Sure would be cool if he was pink. He's a golden Pyrenees. So he's a giant 90-pound Pyrenees, but he looks just like this. That's his little Dabo face. And then we have bunnies and owls and cats and bunnies. Or no, yeah, more bunnies. Lots of bunnies. Flamingos, birds. Anyway, squirrels. I fussy cut Tula pink for the cover. Made it a herringbone. This is very similar except it was fuzzy cut, to the herringbone project bag class we did last spring. Now stay tuned. We are going to talk a little bit, maybe not today, but soon, about the next Make with Tiger Lily project bag class. I'm super excited about it, but this is very reminiscent of the herringbone. I love a good herringbone. It's just a little bit up, and I needed a way to kind of make them different sizes to fussy cut anyway. So, and I had to make it a double flat because it's extra tall. And why is it extra tall? Because I'm extra. So if you saw this on my Instagram story, I think I shared it like in the airport. Now, of course, I don't think I closed it. No, sure didn't. So everything's going to fall out. So we're just going to take this. I kind of just stuff it in, close it up mid-project. But this is what it looks like, friends. Okay, so instead of being the normal 2 pockets and 2 pockets behind like my normal keepers are, this is 4 and 4. So it's a total of 8. So you can see, like for example, here is one of my crackers, and here's actually 2 more. So there were crackers galore. Was the moral of my story is I made a jumbo 4 zipper, 8 pocket, but can hold your entire family of crackers in one keeper. So the answer is yes, before you even ask it, friends, because lots of my friends that saw my Instagram stories, as well as friends that I saw in person at market, were like, when is the pattern for this project keeper? I don't even know what I'm calling it yet, but the jumbo pocket cracker mania party keeper, it is coming. I will definitely be sharing this pattern, writing this pattern and sharing it. That's just what I do. I kind of just prototype things for what I want. And then if you guys want it too, then I'll share with you. So moral of the story is this is coming. Don't worry. You can too have a cracker party keeper. But in my cracker party keeper, I did kit up. Now I'm trying to hold this and show you without it going all over the place. And of course, I have come home and disheveled it. So I had needles. I had actually, behind here was a bunch of fabric pre-cuts. So I had just pre-cut neutrals. I'm doing everything in 36 count, right? Okay, so I had just pre-cut some neutrals just in case I wanted to kit it up and start. Now, like I said, I did kit them up. So let's just look at some pretty crackers. Pretty cracker projects. Progress. 1, 2. We're going to start at the big one. Hold on. I love having a board to handy. Okay. Yes, there are other crackers. We're going to talk about them. I am going to go through my market haul because I do have quite a haul. But we're just going to jump right into my first finish, shall we, friends? She sure is. This is Lily. Of course I had to. This is Lily, the newest. She was debuted at Market, the frog animal cracker. Now, in true Tiger Lily fashion, I pulled from stash. Pulled from stash slash stay true. I mean, she's still in a pink dress. Where's Lily's pattern? There's Lily's pattern. There she is. So you can see I'm definitely in the spirit of Lily, right? I had to use the color. So it's called for all weeks. Stacy used. I don't remember. Well, actually, I don't need to remember because I love my project tracker cards. So that way I can tell you exactly what I did. Here it is, friends. In case you want to know, this is Lily the Frog, this is Stacy Nash. I'm 36 count Moonstone. So this is one of the neutrals that I had just like pre-cut a 6x11 piece. I told you right there, that's kind of fat, more than I needed because this stitch is gonna only be 3x6.5. And these are the colors I use. For the frog body, I use Lily Pad. Of course, that has to be the green, okay? And then putty was the little polka dots on the green skin. And then the dress was Antique Road from Gast, Weeks, Sanguine, and Pomegranate. And why did I change it? Well, we've talked about this before, but right now, and it's growing, but I'm having a cracker floss ring. That's what it's called. I'm having a cracker floss ring. And so that is staying in this keeper. And so I had the pink, see in my pretty little pink, my pretty little calico cat, I forget her name, but she's right there. Her pink dress is Antique Rose. And I was like, well, of course Lily has to coordinate. They're all gonna live together either in a baby cradle or a basket. They're gonna live together sometime eventually when they grow up. So they have to have coordinating clothes. That's why the ring. So, and then like, this is hard. The roses, it's a sanguine apron. And the rose, one of the rose colors, Antique Rose. Anyway, so Pomegranate and Antique Rose were the pinks that were on my floss ring. Now, of course, I've added Lily Pad because that had to be the green. There was a green on here before because there's green in there. But anyway, so Lily is done. I'm so excited. She was, I won't say she was easy because she's not hard. Like there were specialty stitches. I opted not to do them. My brain just wasn't ready for it. It wasn't in the mood. It was red. Anyway, I didn't. There were supposed to be, I think, eyelets in the little things. I was going to add beads. I still might. I don't know, instead of the eyelets. But I instead did the little herringbone pattern, zigzaggy pattern in the pomegranate. Yeah. And then I love the Antique Rose little variegation that it gives it. So Lily is ready to be finished. So yes. This will be my tutorial. You guys have been asking and I have been promising and I will fulfill said promise. Maybe even film it today. Now editing, but I will film it and share with you how I finish it. Right or wrong, I don't know, but it's how I'm doing it. I'm loving it. It's a super secret, not secret, simple. Simple was the word I was looking for. It's super simple. There's interfacing, there's turning inside out. I use a secret pocket on the back. Let's just look. It's not really that secret, like I said. There's a pocket on the back. There's no hand sewing is how I do it. It's all on machine. The hole for stuffing is behind the secret pocket. Yes, you could stuff some scissors in there. I am using wool roving for my stuffing rather than polyfill. It gets in a nice dense stitch or stuff. Anyway, so stay tuned for my Patreon. Now I will link that down below. This will be a video on my Patreon for the finishing of how I finish the crackers, right or wrong. It's just how I do it. And you guys have been asking and I want to share. Okay, so that is the start and finish. We're just starting off with the bang right in the beginning, and that was Lily. But what else is in my cracker keeper? That may be what it's called. I love it. Cracker keeper. Okay, so I've got Lily. Okay, so as I mentioned, I have started 3 more crackers. Now there's a reason why I'm starting 3 and not finishing 3, and that's later on in the episode. But in the meantime, let's just look at what I've started, and it gets a little stitching eye candy. So this one is Millie. Sorry for the reflection. Let me see. Yeah, Millie. She's super cute, and I have got her started. Now you can see, you will see a little bit of a theme when I show you the 3 I've started. The great thing about the crackers, or one of my favorite things about the crackers, is they're fill-in heavy. And so when your brain is not working, or you don't want to count, or it's tired, it's not that it doesn't work, right? It's just tired. But I am stitching Millie on 36 count Atomic Ranch Latte. And so far the only thing I've written down is the Mauve silk. The gray is a beautiful Mauve silk, which is probably way deep in this color. But that is what, so sorry for the hanging threads. It's one of those things where I started to outline and then I just threw it off to continue outlining. Now you can see I am, of course, changing Millie's colors. She's got a cute little green on green little blanket coverlet. I am doing purple with orange. If you know, you know. So she is going to have a beautiful little lavender blanket, and then I already have added the orange pops of color, and then these are a darker purple that are going to fill in the flowers. So the only thing I need to add still to make her fully fill in ready is the outline. You can see the little shapes of her face and her ear, just a little outline, and then after that she is totally fill in ready. So that is Millie on, what did I say, 36 Atomic Ranch? Anyway, so she's super fun. Yes, I do keep a needle in the top corner for some of them, just so they don't get lost. Let's see what else I have started, shall we? So this is another one that I have started since I've seen you last, and this is Theodore. Theodore is another sweet, sweet cat. Here's my tracker card to tell you where I've got so far. This is Theodore, aka Frankie. Now my daughter Lily has an orange cat, looks just like this cat. I'll tell you another change I made so that was more Frankie-esque. But I'm stitching this on 36 count Fox and Rabbit Mayflower. It was just a scrap I had. Perfect. The fabric is 6 by 12 inches. The piece is going to be 3 1/4 by 9, so it's going to be perfect. You don't need a huge margin when you're finishing these. So hold on. So what I do is I kind of just fold them up and stuff the piece inside. So let's look at Theodore / Frankie, shall we? So Theodore / Frankie is fully ready for fill-in. So that is exciting. So here look how big he is. He's giant, right? So he is fully ready for a fill-in. Now, I did pull some custom colors. I haven't written it down. I will definitely share with you. It was just pulled from stash. It's obviously an orange cat. I stick with the orange. Again, in true Kari fashion, he's not going to be wearing blue overalls. He's going to be wearing purple overalls. Again, purple and orange, if you know, you know. So, and then you can see already that I've done the fussy cutting or the fussy stitching of his ears and his little polka dotted stripes. So now it's just orange fill-in for days, purple fill-in for days, and a little white belly fill-in for days. So he is totally ready for fill-in easy stitching. So that is super great. The only change I did make, I wanted to note from the pattern, was I gave my Frankie green eyes because my cats, my Lily's cat, it has green eyes. And so I wanted it to be the Frankie representation. Okay, and so then I have one more that I have started. Now, like I said, I have 3 started. And I'll tell you why later, but it's just fun. So this is the Harrison. This is an old one. Again, giant. I think they've gotten smaller as time has gone by. But here's my tracker card. This is Harrison by Stacy Nash. I'm stitching this. Oh yeah. Okay, this one's 36 count. It's an XJU. It's a mystery blue fabric that I've had in my stash forever. I keep it in my little scrap bin of 36 count. I have this Tupperware. I talked about my linen storage last episode, eons ago, but it's how I'm storing everything. And so rather than telling you color for color, I just gave you a little like body, ears, face. It's not that hard, right? Okay. That's the great thing also about animal crackers, pull from stash. You know, a bunny is a bunny is a bunny, and you don't have to. Now she's got beautiful, it's a gray bunny with a little creamy belly and a green on green striped sweater. Note that, right? Okay. No. Okay. Listen, I love to make it my own, and I was super excited to use the blue fabric. This is the first one I put on a colored fabric and not a neutral, and I'm kind of really loving it. I don't have a lot of colored linen, but I think that this is gonna, you know, encourage me to increase that stash. So Harrison, now I could definitely cut that off and add that back to my scrap pile. I just haven't yet. But Harrison is also fully ready for fill-in stitching only, because you can see now I am making his striped sweater blue on blue. It's a deep sea blue with a mountain mist stripe. So it's like a light blue with the creamy greeny blue. It's going to be so fun. And then I have, you know, of course, the gray. And so, like I said, it's completely outlined and fill-in reality. I finished his eyes. I haven't done his nose. So there's a little bit left. You can see right there. His nose, his pink nose, and the little stripes of his mouth haven't been done, but that's it. So if I just leave that, the rest of him is totally ready for mindless fill-in. That's my favorite thing about the crackers. Like I said, not to be a broken record. And we'll talk about why later. So that is what is in my cracker keeper that I've actually started. Now, what else did I have in here? I brought down with me Scarlett, and she's going to have a purple on purple dress. She's going to be using the same purple that Frankie has on his overalls, which is the darker purple. And then I'm going to balance it out with this beautiful Forbidden Fiber Co. Sugar Plum Purple. So fun. And then I had Chili in there, and I actually have fabric in there so as well. So I have him partially ready to go. I don't remember what else is in there, but I haven't started. Oh, and then I had Hazel fully pulled for the most part with fabric and most of the floss. So, because I knew Hazel's coloring was such that I wasn't going to be able to pull from my existing cracker floss ring. So I wanted to make sure I had this nice auburny pumpkin colorway, and then the coat and everything. So I have that all in here kitted, ready to go. So that is the stitching that I took with me. Now I didn't do it. I might have stitched a little bit. I did stitch a hot minute at Market one night. The nights were all a blur, but one night Chantel, Jessica, and Lisa and I sat down in our pajamas. We had pajamas and pizza. It was fantastic. And we just did, Alicia and I were the only ones stitching. Chantal and Jessica didn't even bring stitching. They're Market. And so, but it was super fun just to sit there and gab. But I got more stitching done when I was in Clemson. So I did leave. I kind of made my little Nashville. I added a little bonus to my Nashville trip. I went from DC to Nashville, Nashville to Clemson, Clemson to DC. So I did a little triangle trifecta, a little bonus for me. I needed a little mama tiger fix. I needed to see my babies. And so I did, and it was great. And so I got a lot of stitching done because they, they were in school and doing the school thing. So anyway, but the other stitching that I have to share with you is a new start we've been talking about, but let's talk about it some more. Okay, friends, if you've been around for a while, you know I have my Stitchy Gold chart, bubble chart. I didn't bring it. I could have, but I didn't. Anyway, I had earned a new start. Now, this is my reward, my plan for 2025. I'm giving myself a new start for every 10 finishes story. It doesn't matter. That's not today's story. Today's story is my new start. So we talked about I'm hoping to get 5 big girl new starts this year. And one of them, my top one that I have been dreaming is a strong word, but the one that I have been noodling about and really thinking about for a long time is Consider the Lilies. This is a big girl. If there's ever been a big girl, I think this is going to be my biggest girl to date. I mean, I have the Peacorn and I have Anniversaries of the Heart, but this one's bigger. She just puts all those to shame. Those are just tiny little things compared to this girl. Consider the Lilies. Quite a saga for me to find the chart. But my sweet friend Fairy was able to find it for me, and I am forever grateful. Now, I do know Heartstring will be reprinting. If you can't find the books, it's because they're basically sold out everywhere. Heartstring, Beth Twist, is going to be doing a reprint of Consider the Lilies, but I think not until the fall. So I don't know if it's part of the August Expo. Is that what that one is called? The one that's in the August, September timeframe, or if it's just a straight up reprint in the fall. The rumor is fall. I don't know. So if you've been waiting for, it's coming back, so you won't have to wait too long. Trust me, you have plenty of time. This one's going to be around for years. But I was lucky enough, and it arrived in the mail this week. And sometimes I keep these things on these Lori Holt design boards because they're so big, and I was working on it yesterday. So I didn't shove it back in my project keeper bag. But I just brought the tray back in here. So this is the chart. In case you're not familiar, Consider the Lilies. Beautiful, beautiful chart. It is 435 by 363. That's ginormous. That's just all there is to that. I do have a tracker card to tell me exactly how ginormous it is because I did do some math, but where it is, I don't know. Let's talk about the floss first. I am doing mine with the Vicki Clayton silk conversion. So I did order these a while ago. Sorry for the doggy click clack nails. This is the Vicki Clayton silks, and I did go ahead and floss. They come on the spools as all Vicki Clayton silks do. I'm not a fan of the spools when I'm going to be doing 30, so I'm stitching mine on a 36 count, one strand over two, right? And I like to just pull the one strand off the spool or off the floss drops. When you're doing it with the spools, it's 6 stranded, then you have like floss maintenance. I'm not good at floss maintenance. I'm better with the spools. I am prototyping, developing a kind of like silk keeper. Right now, I just keep it on a tray. And so that way, I try to kind of minimize the fuzz. That's the rumor. A lot of people like to throw their silks in floss away bags because you don't want the silks to get fluffy, fuzzy, disheveled. I don't know. I'm doing the same thing with pea corn. I actually have them clipped to a board in the bag and it's working. But I do think I want some kind of like foldable mini silk keeper. Again, it's on the prototype list. The list is long, friends. But let's talk about the stitching. So if you're in my Patreon group, you know earlier this week, once the chart arrived, I was so excited. I went to my PO box, the chart arrived. Okay, today's the day. So that night I wound using my little thread winder. I dropped the silks. There are 27 colors, 29 colors, 32 colors. I needed 3 packs. These are my exclusive floss drops from my Advent box. They're beautiful, sparkly pink. I used 3 packs that luckily I have extra. I always order extra. So I was able to drop those and they were ready, right? Okay, then it became the hard decision, what linen? Okay, so in full disclosure, I did buy some linen in Nashville and I'll show it to you and I'll share with you and we'll talk about it some more. But the struggle is real. I also showed you my linen storage solution that super excited about. It's working great. I haven't added any of my Nashville stuff to it because that's not on the list right now. But I went digging in there. I was like, oh, this one could be good. Oh, this one. So I was throwing my floss. The reason I had to floss drop first is I wanted to do like, a floss toss, right? Because I'm not changing, but I'm not using the called for is something that I'm never going to have. And I'm not a big fan. I don't use called for anyway. I'm a user of my stash. And so I asked my Patreon. What I did is I pulled 4 colors. The 4 colors that I pulled were 4 linens, and I'll show you them to you. Now, you're going to see what I did because, again, I'm a Cooper, and I'm okay with it. Here's the first one I pulled. Beautiful, right? This one is 40 count. This is Lakeside linen. Now, the problem with the Consider the Lilies, not a problem, just a consideration, a factor when you're pulling linen. Most of my linen in my box is fat quarters. That's my go-to size to buy. When I'm buying a 36 count or even a 40 count, a fat quarter will get most all the things I ever stitch will fit just fine and dandy on a fat quarter. This big girl, jumbo big girl, she does not fit on a fat quarter. She fits on a fat half. So I was limited, my choice was limited drastically from what I can choose because I had to have a fat half of said piece of fabric. So choice 1, Chantilly cream, Lakeside linen, gorgeous pinky neutral, very pink, very mauve. Looks very true in the camera right this minute. This is 40 count. And I will tell you right now, that is why it got ruled out. It's beautiful. I'm glad to have it in my stash. I will love to stitch on it. I can stitch on 40 count in small bites, bite-sized pieces. I could do a 40 count. Why I have a fat half of it, I don't know. But committing to this girl on a 40 count, I just couldn't do it. I couldn't do it. I knew myself well enough that that is the reason she was going to languish. If she's ever going to languish, being on 40 count was going to be raised. So I ruled this one out. Now, I did take a poll on Patreon, which is so fun. I love taking polls. Now, first disclaimer, I love taking polls and I love it so much that you guys participate and share with me and help me make these decisions. Thank you so much. Don't be discouraged. Please vote again, even though I didn't pick your top choice. I was wavering last night when I actually put my first stitches in. I was like, oh my gosh, everybody loves this one. And I love it too. Obviously, I picked it as one of the 4 choices. I love it. But at the end of the day, I have to pick the one that I'm going to be excited about stitching for a long, long time, right? And I knew 40 count wasn't going to be it. So I just went full disclosure. This is the one that won the poll on Patreon. And I love this choice. If this had been 36 count, done. Locked, loaded, done. 40 count, that is why it ultimately lost. Now, then there was 3 other choices, right? Let me show you another one. This one is NeedleBling. Let's see. Yeah, it's better to hold it with something, I think. This is NeedleBling Designs Marshmallow Fluff. 36 count. This is her new color from market. It just came out. As you can see, it's got a faint modeling, not a lot, but it's a very, very light fabric. A little bit of modeling of tanny golden, kind of skews pink, but very faint. Like you really got to squint and imagine you see the pink. So I almost did that one. That was a contender, okay? There were 2 other contenders. Now let me show you the back sides. The 2 other contenders were LFA Linens, 36 count Dunes at Dusk. I'm so excited that Sue from LFA is dyeing linen again. Could I be more excited? No. And then the other choice after that was Mason Linens, which I've never stitched on. This was also another market find, and this was a limited edition color. So it's hard for me to tell you what color it is because she's a very unique linen presentation of her colorways. She does a colorway, and we'll talk about it more when I show you my market haul, but she has a colorway. For example, she has one colorway called Sewing Box, and then she does it in 4 tones: light, light medium, medium, medium dark, dark. Maybe there's 5. But either way, it's the same family. It's like a gradient of, it's brilliant, brilliant. But I'm sure during that dyeing process, sometimes things get misdyed, as all things do. And so at market, she had a table full of limited editions, she called them. So it was kind of, I'm sure, misdyes of one of her fabrics. It just wasn't close enough to what it was supposed to be for her to call it that, and which was great. I appreciate when a fabric dyer realizes this was supposed to be this. I put it in the same mixture at this, but it does not look like that, so I can't sell it called this name, and calls it a limited edition instead. Okay? So that's what this is. It's a very greigey, I love the word greige. It's a greigey beige, and you can see right here, right? Okay, so just for, like I said, okay, can you see the pink tone? I'm not going to pull up Chantilly Cream. We know that one's it. But you can see the pinky marshmallow fluff. This one's the Mason Linens limited edition greige. And this is the LFA. Okay, so those were the other ones that were choices. I can tell you that marshmallow fluff was number 3, number 3 in the poll. It was not a contender. Last night, okay, it's stitch time. I wanted to come to you today with stitches in the linen. Do you notice I'm not putting 2 fabrics down? Yes. Have you ever done this? I'm excited that I did it, to be honest with you, because this is going to be a multiple year, like lifetimes I'm going to spend stitching this. So picking the right fabric, take the time. It's kind of like swatching for a sweater. I'm swatching the fabric. Take the time, take the extra step to when you're going to stitch. Now, if you're stitching a little pillow or a cracker, it's not rocket science. Just pick a fabric and go with it. But when you're stitching something that's 450 by 350, whatever it is, it's ginormous. Take the time to swatch. Swatch. I've never done this before, and I'm kind of super excited about the fact that I did it. So, starting off last night. Now, in full disclosure, I've never stitched on Mason linens. And when I show you their linens from my market haul, I'm so impressed with it. I am so impressed with the presentation. First of all, as someone who appreciates fabric and linens, wrinkles in linen are real. That is real. And getting the wrinkles out of hand-dyed linen, especially when it says not color fast, you can't, like, I'm fearful of steaming. I'm fearful of water spraying. For all the reasons, right? The right reasons. But sometimes linen comes, some dyers don't have it down. I'll just be honest, I'm not going to call anybody out. But there were some dyers who sell you linen that looks like it was in a ball of mess. It's folded, but it's still wrinkle city party, right? And Mason linen, whatever that, I wish they would share their super secret. Maybe I'll have to ask them nicely. She was so nice. Their linen, now it's a little wrinkled now because I stitched on it, but out of the chute, out of the box, out of the package, it was as flat could be. Like it was starched. It's not starched. I mean, I can feel it. I know starch. Beautiful. So I wanted to stitch on Mason linens. And when I think about the bright colors, when I did my floss toss, these are nice, beautiful, bright colors. And they were popping on the gray. Now, listen, you're like, get on with the story, Kari. Moral of the story, I swatched too. I swatched the Mason linens last night. And I actually did that one all night last night. And I was like, this is it. It's going to be great. And then I slept on it. And I was like, is it great? Is it the right call? Let me show you. Let's look at it and talk about it. Here, now, of course, this one's upside down. This is the top right corner. There it is on the Mason linen grayish. Top right corner, I've got, I don't know, 5 colors of floss, the 2 flowers, the green. This is a darker green. I didn't dislike it, right? But the coolness, and this gets into color theory and all the things, the coolness of this, yes, does make the colors pop, but these are warm colors. If these had been pinks and purples and bright fuchsia-y type, that's when you want the cool tones. I did not major in color theory, so this is just my experience, my personal opinion. So then this morning, like I said, I slept on it and I was like, I'm not 100%. I want to be 110% when I'm going to stitch this. So I'm like, I'm going to swatch again. Now, I realized I swatched backwards because of the way I oriented the fabric, but that's okay. It's symmetric, thank goodness. So this would be, what is this going to be? This is going to be the bottom right corner. But do you see it? Maybe you don't. Okay. What do you think? I have a favorite. I won't spoil it for you. I'll let you, talk amongst shelves. Stay tuned to my Instagram / Patreon / both probably and see which one gets more work on it. But I have a favorite. And I'm super excited about it. I can't wait to continue working on this. Now it's not fill-in fabulous. Fill-in fabulous. Oh, I love that. It's not cracker fill-in fabulous. There are a lot of colors. I mean, this flower has 4 different colors in it. because of so it's not super confetti. Listen, I'm not a confetti girl, but it's color changing. It's color changing. I mean, it's motify. That's it. I mean, it's not a cracker. What do you think? LFA, Mason. It's not that I don't love the linen. Where's the cover photo? It doesn't matter. Listen, I'm using the Vicki Clayton silks, so, you know, they're comparable, but not the same. Anyway, so that was my new start from last night. So excited. I love it. I can't wait to share more with you. Are you exhausted yet? I'm tempted not to do a market haul. I mean, if you haven't seen these patterns already from 72 other floss tubers by now, you don't want to see them. But I did have a market haul, and I did do a little bit of Tiger Lily twist to a couple things, so I want to share it with you. So that's fun. This is my chart haul. I'm not going to show them all to you because that's excessive. So many fabulous people have shown all the market hauls, all the market charts, market things. So many great people, better than I, have shared lots of things. So I'm not, like I said, I'm not going to go through all of them and be like, ooh, I got this one. Ooh, I got this one. I got that. No. What I am going to do is I'm going to show you just a few key components, because as I was at market, I was like, oh my gosh, I need to share this with my people. And how can I do that? How am I going to share it? So again, this is not going to be like a now thing, even though it's March 21st. And there's plenty of time between now and May. I'm going to call it Market Mania. Okay? Because I'll tell you later, but May is going to be better for me. So what I have decided is that for every week in May, I'm going to start a new market project. And every week in May, I am going to start a new project that I've got from market. It's going to be my Market Mania. I'm so excited. But I'm also going to be sharing each of one of those new starts. Now, I bought, like I said, too many charts, let's be honest. But many charts, I bought multiples because I wanted to share with my Patreon. Whether I wanted to share just the stitch, whether I wanted to share a fully kitted up project, whether I wanted to share all the things. So in May, Market Mania, I'm going to have one new start per week, and once a week, every week in May, I will have a giveaway on my Patreon. And like I said, some of it will just be the chart. Some of it will be the chart and a piece of fabric. Some of it will be the chart, the fabric, and the floss. It all just depends on what I get pulled together and what kind of Tiger Lily twists I put on things. So I'm giving myself some time to twist things up. Now, I am going to show you, ideally I was going to do like a market top 10. I might show you my top 10 right now, just because Enable Vision, which is what my friend Nicole calls it, which I think is fantastic. Enable Vision is super fun. So we're just going to start. I'm not going to count. We're not going to have a countdown, whatever, until I figure out that, well, that's enough. Let's switch gears. Then let's just talk about some pretty charts. 1, 2. Yay. Okay. My slam dunk, don't even bother to try to come in second place, because first place has won this by miles, is the Kathy Berrick Velvet to Linen. I know you've seen it. Half a dozen of my friends have started it. Half a dozen have already like kitted it up, all the things. It was many people's market number ones. Kathy, this is gorgeous. That's all there is to that. Now, okay, so Tiger Lily twist, right? This is charted in MPIs. I've actually never stitched with MPIs in true transparency. Why? I don't know. Because my local shop doesn't have one. Now I could go to 1, 2, 3 and press, add to cart and buy, and they'd send them to me. But MPIs, from my understanding, are just solid, like a DMC in silk, which is great if that's what you want. I'm a big fan of variegation. I love Vicki Clayton silks. They just have a little bit of, they're hand dyed, right? A little bit of hand dyedness, as well as my sweet friends. I love them so much. The sisters, which I call them the sisters, sister samplers. Beth works for Gloriana. She's the actual, like, one of the dyers who dyes for Gloria. Love that. Love that. So I was like, okay, I don't want to do MPIs. I'm going to do a Tiger Lily Gloriana. Yes, we're still bougie. Yes, it's still silk. And yes, it's going to be crazy. But I did a Gloriana floss conversion. So I went, it was great. Sunday was great at market, and I was able to take the model, borrow the model from Kathy. She was so sweet. Let me borrow the model, carry it like I'm carrying, like, you know, gold down the hall. Like, luckily they're on the same floor. I didn't have to go in the elevator. Down to Gloriana, and I had the ladies from Gloriana helping me pull, because they didn't even have the whole line. She's like, well, maybe. I was like, no, I'm walking out of this. I'm walking out of the store with my full Gloriana conversion. So we're going to make it work. Even if we Tiger Lily twist it, which if you've been around, you know what that means. That means two things. One, I'm going to get a color that's close. I'm going to get a color that's going to play nice, and that it's going to be close, and we're going to be good. The other twist that I have done, because I'm using variegated, I'm using hand-dyed silks, so I understand fully why Kathy has 27, I think, NPIs. When you're using solids to get variegation, to get movement in a flower, you just got to pull another silk. I get it. When you're using hand-dyed, you do not. You get the variegation by using the hand-dyed, the variegation in the floss. So, for example, here is my floss conversion. Now, I will write it down. Of course, I will share it with you. All the details will be coming during Market Mania. Okay, but I do want to show you, like, for example, see the pinks? There were, I think, 5 pinks charted. I only have 3 or 4, just because there's so much movement in the hand-dyed Glorianas. I love Gloriana. It's going to be beautiful. So Gloriana is 12-strand silk, 6-stranded, hand-dyed. They are beautiful. It's a beautiful company. They are beautiful people to work with. I love it. So this is my, you can say I didn't change the colors. It's not like I made anything crazy, but I did a floss conversion. So that is going to be for sure Market Mania. Let's be honest, probably number 1. Okay, so I didn't think this through. I just went through my box. I was like, let's just pull the ones I'm going to do during Market Mania. Well, there's more than 4. There's only 4 weeks of Market Mania. So this is going to be more than just once a week. That's all there is to it. Because I bought multiples of all of these to share with my Patreon. So I'm super excited about it. So just let me show you what else I got. What else I did that was super fun. Okay. This is also another one of my market favorites. I love, of course, you know, I love everything Shelly's going to do. But this Mary Cook basket, this model is amazing, And my sweet friend Holly stitched it. I got to spend some market time with her. That was so much fun. Love it. It is gorgeous. Now, I will be doing a Tiger Lily twist, surprise, with this one, because my favorite, hands down, part of this is this basket. This basket, here it is, front and center and big. This basket needs to be a tiny little pillow. It's not going to be that tiny, probably. I'd have to look at the chart. But this is going to be its own standalone something. Whether it's a flat fold, whether it's a pillow, whether, I don't know what it's going to be, but this is what I'm going to start. And I will have to check the colors. Of course, I should know. Looks like there's 2 greens, 4 pinks, a blue and a red. I will floss pull. This will be a full kit. This will definitely be during Market Mania start. I've got a chart. I will pull some fabric, and I will pull some custom colors to share with you guys. I will kit it up just to stitch this. So that's exciting. But if you don't want to wait, you know, I will link most Nashville market stitches you can get at your local LNS for about the first 30 days or so. After that, some designers go ahead and launch it on their shops or their Etsy shops or all the things. So either contact your LNS if you need it right now, or wait a little bit, grab it from the designer, and start it during Market Mania with me. What do you think? Okay, so that is definitely one. Another one, well, hold on. Of course, you know I love all the crackers. I'm not going to show you all the crackers. You've seen them half a dozen, 1,000 times. But this is the cutest thing I've ever seen. Now, do I need a hedgehog velvet pear needle book? No, but the stitching is not about needing. I was able, first of all, Lois from Lady Dot Creates is the most beautiful human one of them. She's gorgeous. She's beautiful inside and out. I loved meeting her. I was able to procure velvet for you and me, and I can't wait to kit this up. Now, of course, oh, it uses lily pad. I have that. She does. I'll probably just use some of my cracker pulls, to be honest. So this might just be the velvet and the chart. That might be what I share with my Patreon. So you guys go ahead and get that started. How fun is that? So fun. Okay. The other, hold on, I just want to make sure I pulled a bunch. Okay, so daily reminder. This was definitely another market favorite. I love it. The Be Good and Do Good. Yes, ma'am. All day long. I love it. I love it. Now, I will definitely change all the colors. I do love this fabric. I've seen a lot of floss tubers who have it hold it up. It looks a lot more green in Flosstube than the model did in person. The model in person was more of a muddy green. That's a color term, making stuff up. But it was more brownie green, muddy green. It was not like green. I mean, like, I'm familiar with greens. I dyed 4 different fabrics for the peacorn, remember? So this, I don't know. This is on Cedar River linens. I've never stitched with the Cedar River linens. It could just be the skews of the screens, which I know facts that happens. But the model was more of a dirty green, brown green, muddy green. Either way, I'm gonna have to fiddle around. Oh, River Willow. I'll have to see. But anyways, I got one of these for me and you, and we're going to talk about this one during Market Mania as well. And then I have 2 more. One that I'm doing something crazy with, so we'll save that one for last. This Quaint Rose NeedleArts, her room/booth was phenomenal. She brought a bunch of, I didn't take any pictures. Now, if I was a good vlogger / floss tuber / YouTuber and / all the things, I would bring video. I had intentions. I actually had the selfie stick, had my microphone kit with me, had big plans. But when you're in the moment, I'm just in the moment. I need to do better. Maybe next time. But her room was gorgeous. She had probably 3 or 4 of the original antiques that were the inspiration or they were reproductions of. The biggest one, of course, I didn't get this one, but it's like a deer in the middle with these 2 flower motifs. It was like this big, the actual model or the original antique. Yeah, this big. Now the stitch, she put it, so it was on wool. I'm sure it was beautiful, but it was just really, she used from floor to ceiling. She used all the space to do her display, and she was just the cutest little person. She had a little baby, like a 6-month-old. When does she have time to do this? I have no idea. But this is one of her market releases that totally spoke to me. It's going to be perfect. When's Marjorie's strawberry thing? I don't remember. It's June. I think it's June. Marjorie, let me know. It's sometime in strawberries. Marjorie from Marjorie Made does the little strawberry thing. I love it. I loved all of these things. Look at this little strawberry. It looks like a needle book. I don't know exactly what it is, but all of these are super adorable. And there's only 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 colors. So we're going to kit this up and do this together too. I'm excited. So sweet. I don't know if I'm going to do 1, 4. We'll see. TBD. TBD, friends. Okay, last but not least, for my market favorites / Mania kit ups, I'm going to share with you guys. It's going to be so much fun. Stay tuned. This could have been my number 2 pick, but we're showing it to you now. This was in no particular order, friends. It's called A Study in Garden Fairies. Now, I call it the butterfly flower because I'm literal. Beautiful. This was beautiful. The artsy housewife, Her and her husband were, they were lovely people. Every model, I wanted to buy them all, but I restrained, picked my favorite. This was my favorite. Now I talked to Gigi and I said, listen, I love this, but you don't know me for Adam, but pink is my jam. Not so much yellow. Are you going to be offended if I change everything to pink? Thankfully, she said it was a resounding no. She was so excited. She couldn't wait to see it. So I did go down to Weeks Dye Works, pulled too many pinks, too many greens. I haven't figured out the 1-for-1 ratio. I haven't figured out how I'm going to do it at all. I've got time, don't you worry. But I am changing all of this to pink, greens, and browns instead of yellows, golds, and browns. And I'm so excited. I'm so excited. Because who doesn't want a pink? I know it's a sunflower. I know. Don't blast me. I know that's supposed to be a sunflower, and sunflowers are not pink. But we're going to go with it and make it a different flower. I won't put brown in the middle. I'll make it green, and it'll be fabulous. Pink, pink, and pink. Now, she has a study in pink. It's a gorgeous butterfly. I did get that too, but that's an older chart. This was her market, and so I was super excited about it. So that one we're going to do during Market Mania too. Is that my stash? Yay! Okay, friends, so I'm going to fib. Right here, I'm going to go ahead and nix the sharing of the linen from Market. Beautiful linens. I got a bunch because I had big plans to share them with you as an add-on to your Keeper Club. So just be thinking about that. I'll talk about it more during the Keeper Club. But the moral of the story is I will not be doing that for the April Club, so I'm not going to share the linens right now. What I am going to share right now is Fat Quarter Shop generously sent me a package of some new goodies that I want to share with you. And one I'm super excited about. Again, I need more time in the day. Goodness, Dabo. I need more time in the day and not so many other, not so many juggling balls really. But let's look at some of these great things about Fat Quarter Shop sent. Now, I will link all of these down below. And like I said, I'm going to save this one for last because I have a thought. Right now, it's just going to be a thought. I'm not going to promise it, but I have a thought, and let's talk about it, shall we, friends? So this is a quilt project. So fun. This one's called Summer Picnic. Oh, my. Fat quarter of the following. Oh, goodness. Great. It is fat quarter friendly. There are 4, 6, 8, 24 fat quarters. Yes, friends. 24 fat quarters plus another 5 for blocks and buy them. Some of them you need more than a fat quarter. And of course the blue. You need 5 yards of the blue. That's a big one, but it's really, really pretty. I wonder how hard those blocks are to do. I have to see. This is a cute, this is part of the Hometown Neighborhood Birdhouse. How sweet is that? Look at that. This is the Lori Holt series. Is it, tell me what, number 5 of 12? That is so sweet. I love these houses. I think I would just stitch the houses and make them smaller. Although this one has a nice Emily Dickinson quote. Hope is a thing with feathers that perches in the soul and sings the tune without the words and never stops at all. So sweet. This is part of their seed packet cross stitch series. I think this just launched this year. This is the tulips card. It's just a nice card, easy to do, little postage stamp. For the frill of it, oh my gosh, look at this adorable quilt. So this is kind of, reminds me of that Lori Holt's Millie's Dresses, kind of. They used to have that was a quilt pattern from a couple years ago using Lori Holt's, but this is kind of a twist. It's a little modern look. There's 2 different style dresses if you look at that picture. One with sleeves and one with sleeveless dresses. So fun. Stripy spools. Well, that's fun. Oh my gosh. Okay, this one is great. It is jelly roll friendly. So that is super great. Everybody's got a jelly roll in their stash, and then you just add a couple backgrounds and accents, and then of course binding, and you were good to go. That would be such a cute quilt. Even just making, oh my gosh. Okay, even just making 1 or 2 blocks. Okay, hold on. Right here. See, this one spool is like a tall Aurifil spool. looks like it to me. And then this looks like 3 bobbins, right? So what if you just made this one as like a wall hanging quilt? I love how I have a couple of them. I've never shown, I still have to do a studio tour, but that would be such a cute little hang on the wall in your sewing room. You don't have to do you can do the whole quilt, but just that little square, the whole quilt is 53 by 66. So that one's probably just like an 18 by 18 square. That would be such a cute little wall hanging tapestry quilt. So fun. And then there's 2 more things that were in the Fat Quarter Shop share with us. One is called Henny Penny. Oh, how sweet is that? Now I love stitching on these mesh bags. They're great project bags for cross stitch, for applique, for your Grumpy Susan quilt that I need to get back to. Yes. And then last but not least is the Scrappy Americana flag. I love this. I love this so, so, so much. This is Blue Star, a whole Scrappy, right? Now, 65 by 105. So we've hung a quilt. This will be a great wall hanging quilt. I have a wall hanging quilt in our family room. There was one in the office. It came down, but this one would be great. It's just reds and whites and blues, right? Americana. Includes instructions for foundation paper piecing and traditional piecing. I bet they foundation paper piece these stars. How fun is that? Okay, so this is March. And you're going to understand later on why I'm not ready to commit to this, but let's just talk about the idea for a hot minute. Do I dare? I'm gonna, whatever. This I thought would be so fun for a quilt along during patriotic season, and or in addition, maybe, I don't know yet. I'll have to see what sizes. Can we get away with just charm packs? Can we get away? Can this be a swap? Is the moral. What I was thinking. That's the first thing I thought of. When I pulled this, this would be a perfect quilt along Tiger Lily Friends swap. Meaning, back in the day, like Lilies and Diapers day, so it's been a hot minute. Flicker? I don't even remember. But I used to be in those quilting, I swear it was Flickr. It could have been something else. Before social media was social media, right? And you would share, it's like a quilting bee, like a little quilting bee. You put 12 people, didn't know anybody from Adam. You were just in this group, kind of like a Facebook group, but not. And you were in a group, and then you'd work on quilts together. And so each month, this is how we did it. So 12 months, 12 quilters. Each quilter would get a month, and that month you would send the fabric to your friends, right? Your online friends, and they would make a block for you, and then you'd send it back, and you'd have 12 blocks, whether it was a hard quilt, whether it was you don't want to make 12 of the same block quilt, whatever it was. It's like a online quilting bee. With that, I've also done fabric swaps, meaning, okay, in case you don't know, this little quilting thing, I don't know how many reds. I'm not going to count them. There's a lot of reds. In case you don't have a quilting stash, and of course this is just my Tula and Tilda, my rainbow fabrics is down below now. In case you don't have a whole shelf of reds or a whole shelf of blues that you can just cut some squares of, what we would do is everybody would get 1 yard of a tone-on-tone white, 1 yard of a red, and 1 yard of a blue, and then you would cut a predetermined size. You would cut your 3 fabrics in a predetermined size. I haven't read the pattern yet, and so I'm probably premature even talking about this, but go with me. You would cut your 3 fabrics, your 3 colors in a predetermined size, and you would ship them all to me. This is sounding overwhelming before I even finish my story. You would ship them all to me. I'd have to cap it at a number. And then I would shuffle them around. Meaning, like you would send me red polka dots. And Susie would send me red stars. And Mary would send me red hexy tone on tone. I don't know. all the different things. There's beautifuls, right? And then that way you only have to buy one, but when you bring it to me and you swap, and then I shuffle it all around and they send them back out, then you're going to get 50 different fabrics if that's the number I choose. Excuse the noise, hold on. Sorry, we have a contractor working on a plumbing problem in the house and his drill is a little loud, so hopefully you didn't hear that. Anyway, it's something I'm noodling. I'm thinking about it. I think it would be super fun. It would be a super way to bring community to this pattern. And then you don't have to go and buy this many red fabrics. I don't think they bundle this. I'll have to check Fat Quarter Shop. I will link everything down below. If they already did a bundle for us, forget it. Let's just do the bundle. But in case they didn't do a bundle, I'm noodling the concept of a patriotic quilt-along. I'm not going to say May because I've already signed up for something for May. June? I don't know. Tell me what you think down in the comments below. Message me. Tell me what you think. I would love to do it at a time where I could take all these things down to Lily and she could help me swap them. It might be an excuse to go down and we can just play swappy fabrics for a week. So fun. Ooh, or maybe I'll bring them to StitchCon and Shelly and I can swap them all around. She doesn't know that either. So fun. But thank you to Fat Quarter Shop. I will link everything down below. Either way, grab that pattern. It's fantastic. I'm going to sew it either way. I would love to sew it with you. So we'll just see how that works out. So let's see what else. We're just going to continue on in the haul portion of the program because I have fallen behind. And let's be honest, I don't know when I'm going to get to it, but I want to be able to share with you the Fat Quarter Shop Sew Sampler box that has been sitting over there. So I don't even know what box this is. This could be January. It could be February. I don't know. Let's see. Already broke the box because I'm opening it wrong. This is February. So in case you haven't seen, the Sew Sampler box is one of my favorites. I think March has already shipped out to me, so that's super fun. But this is the Sew Sampler box from February that I get from Fat Quarter Shop. They have a great little tutorial of everything in here. There is a wonderful mini layer cake in Olfa, which is my favorite, but this is an exclusive Fat Quarter Shop kind of corally color, which is super, super fun. And then last but not least, block 11. Oh, let me show you. Block 11 of the Peaceful Baskets. I need to get back to that. And then this is the Sweet, Sweet quilt. Now it is the cheerful quilt pattern. It uses the layer cake that you got. Let me show you. So you get the layer, a little mini layer cake. It's a 24-piece, 10-inch stacker layer cake. And you need some of those, and then you need 3 additional colors. You need binding, the sashing, and the quarter stone, and then your inner border. So you just need a neutral, pull from stash, and then a sashing. If you want to do the sashing and the cornerstones, you could pull that from stash. Pull something that's comparable. You only need 1 1/8 yard. Listen, I'm famous for going to a quilt shop and saying, oh, I need 1 yard of that, 1 yard of that. And I'm sure 1 1/8. Squeeze it down, you'll be good. It'll be great. So that was the Sew Sampler box for February. Like I said, March has already sent. I will link that below. It is one of my favorite things to get. I would love to get back to making the projects in there. I want to get caught up on my Peaceful Baskets, but another day for that. So let me talk real quick. I brought this over just because, like I said, I was just trying to catch you up on everything so that way when I go MIA again, I know what I've told you and what I haven't. So when we were in Nashville, Shelly and I love to go to Bliss Yarns. I was going to say Blissful. No, Bliss Yarns. It's like between Franklin and Nashville. It's a beautiful yarn store. And this will be the second year we've gone. And we have gotten, this is the second year we've gotten a self-striping Nashville sock yarn. So this is the one we got this year. It's a mustache self-striping. Now, here it is all caked up. I don't know what it's called. The ball bend is in there. If I pull it out, it'll get lost in the mess. But then we pulled an accent for cuffs
heels and toes. In true honesty, yellow is my least favorite color. I love this pink section right here. But if I had seen that this yellow, that's a hard thing about self-striping, unless you can see the whole thing, like a sample knit up, whether it's Mustache Yarns, super great, love self-striping. That was who did the other one. But unless you can see the sample knit up on her Instagram and see exactly what you're going to get, it's like a surprise. You don't know. You're going to either love it or not so love it. I'm going to love it. It's going to be great. It has a memory, but I wish the yellow wasn't so, I almost cut it out. Let's be honest. I almost cut that whole yellow section, just snip, snip, and cut it out. But I didn't know how often it was going to repeat. I didn't want to run out of yarn. Anyway, that's hand-dyed yarn. You don't know what you're going to get. But I'm super excited. So that was my vanilla knitting. I've been taking it around everywhere. So, sorry, I keep spinning around the studio trying to see what I can see. Okay, friends, that is my update. I'm not going to share my market haul fully with you. We talked about Market Mania for May. I'm still going to TBD on how exactly I'm going to organize that. Stay tuned. Maybe you got some of those patterns you can stitch along with me that week. Maybe you've already got them done. I've only got Lily done, but that's okay. Lots of things. So from here, we're going to have a little bit of Tiger Lily shop update, and then we're going to have a little bit of Tiger Lily life update. Want to? Okay. So Tiger Lily shop update is Keeper Club, Party Town. They're kind of going to go, my two updates are going to kind of go together. Right now, it is Keeper Club Explosion. Now, it's a little early. You're like, Kari, it's only March 21st, because my clubs go out quarterly, April, January, which I skipped this year, April, July, October, and then the Advent, right? Okay, so quarterly. So April 25th. So if you're in the club, no worries. If you got the October box, then you haven't done anything. You are automatically in the club. You were in it till you cancel, and your boxes will be charged on April 1st. I did open up spots for my Patreon, and then actually went to the wait list yesterday. All the spots are full now. Let me just start right there. Patreon early access. They had actually a couple days. Usually it's just 24 hours, but life. They had a couple days early access exclusive. So everybody, hopefully that's in my Patreon that wanted in the club was able to get a spot, because then yesterday I opened up the remaining spots to the wait list, and they sold it out pretty quick like. So the spots are full again. So to get on the wait list, if you are interested in getting a Keeper Club, there's always churn. There's always people coming on and off the list. So don't be discouraged. But this is just the April box. So this will go out April 25th. That's that. But I am doing it now because of life. Now, April 25th is when the boxes will send out. I do want to go ahead and just because I've received, it's amazing how Advent season is starting in April now. I thought I was early with May, but multiples, at least 3 of my yarn dollars that I follow, and I'm going to try to restrain and only get 1. Do I even need 1? No, but I'm only going to get 1 yarn Advent this year. Which one? Which one's your favorite? I don't know which one to get. I want to get one I haven't gotten yet. I don't know. Anyway, the moral story is Advent season is upon us. I can't believe it either, but it is. Now, my Advent boxes launch on May 1st. May 1st is when the boxes launch. Spoiler, you heard it here. My Patreon members will get 24 hours early access. That is across the board one of the perks of being a Tiger Cub Patreon member. Now I have 2 levels of Patreon. A lot of people ask me these questions too. So again, we're just going to have a little bit of info session. Patreon, I have two levels in my Patreon. One is free, which is super great. I love being able just to share with you in the community, like this poll with my linen for the Consider the Lilies, as well as a chit chat about my linen box. That was all part of free. You can get lots of exclusive content on my free Patreon. Okay, great. I love, it's just a great way for me to share place. It's a one-stop shop for sharing files. If I have a free chart or a free graphic, like my charts for my stitchy goals for 2025, my Nifty 50, which I haven't kitted up a thing for 2025, but I have lots of worksheets and charts, and all that's part of my free Patreon. So the other level of my membership is the Tiger Cub Patreon, which is $5 a month. And with that, you get random things. The biggest perk with that is going to be early access to any of my Keeper Club openings, my Advent sales, my one-off Keeper sales, my linen sale that I'm going to have sometime soon, just different sales. I give my Patreon early 24-hour access. A lot of my sales sell out very quickly, and as a thank you for being a Patreon, that's one of the big things. I also share exclusive content, sometimes charts, sometimes tutorials, like my lily finishing tutorial that will be there. Anyway, so with that being said, my Advent will be on May 1st, so mark your calendars if that's something you want to get on. They're always limited quantities because I make every keeper with my two hands, and I can only make so many. So now let's do a little bit of Tiger Lily personal update. So if you don't want to hear about it, I totally understand. I just have had people reach out, and I wanted to give you a little forewarning of where I've been and where I'm going, so you don't think like something happened, because some of you have reached out and wondered. So anyway, the last 5 months, I'm not going to get into super big detail. Last 2 quarters, I work in finance, so I deal in quarters, have been crazy town for all kinds of different reasons. It doesn't matter. The moral of the story is, like I said, I'm a professional juggler right now because of all the curveballs that are being thrown at me. Who knew? I like boring life. I like sitting at home, having my let's go walk the dog and having my leisurely lunch and sewing in my studio and happy time of, I like all the things, and I work my day job, and I like simple, easygoing life. Well, that's not the way it's been for a while. Lots going on. The reason I am doing my Keeper Club, the Keeper Clubs will ship by April 25th. So if you have purchased one of the open spots and been charged, thank you for joining the club, but they don't ship until April 25th. Everybody's auto charges will hit on the 1st. Everything still won't ship until the 25th. But here in the next week, I will have all the boxes packed, ready, packed and stacked, as I call them. They won't be labeled, but they'll be packed and stacked. And that is because late next week, I am going to be having a surgery. And so this surgery is going to be about 6 weeks worth of 4 to 6 weeks. I'm being cautiously conservative. 4 to 6 weeks of recovery, and wasn't on my agenda, wasn't on my plan. Curveballs. Thanks, life. So that is why I have been preparing myself for fill-in projects. That's why I have 3 crackers that are fill-in ready, because I anticipate I don't sit well. I don't know if you sit well. I don't sit well. I am always go, 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 go. And recovery is not go, go, go. It's sit, sit, sit. For real. So I'm trying to set myself up for success so I will be a good patient and recover quickly and on time and all the things. So I'm setting myself up with mindless in case I have, fog brain, where counting is hard. We all know counting is hard on a good brain. So fill-in is perfect for counting is hard, but I need to keep my hands busy or my mind busy or I will go crazy. So that's that. So if I go MIA, I will 100% be MIA here on Flosstube. That's just all there is to it. I very much doubt that I will be video ready for a couple of weeks. Could be 4, could be 3, could be 6. I don't know. I'm hoping to share on Instagram and stories, at least, like pictures of what I'm doing that day, whether I finished a cracker, whether I'm working on Consider the Lilies. Consider the Lilies is going to take a little more brain power. So maybe, week 2 or 3, I can be up to that level, but maybe I'll have 3 crackers done, or I'll have socks done, or sweaters done. I don't know. If you have any other ideas of what to do when you're being forced to rest for someone who doesn't sit still well, that is my biggest struggle. I plan out my year and the clubs and the keepers and the things. There's not a lot of fluff time. So this is putting a wrench in the whole production, which is why I have been MIA for the last couple of weeks after market, because I've had to work sewing fingers to the bone to get the club packed and stacked before I go in. Anyway, it doesn't matter. So that's my update. That I just wanted to share with you, give you guys a little bit of a backstory of where I have been, where I will be, all the things, in case you're curious. But if you're not, no worries. Just know I will be back. Hopefully, one day soon, I'll be back to normal and I can live my simple, normal life again. Anyway, that is what I have for you, friends. Keep looking around, because literally the keepers are stacked this high on the table. So I got to get back to stacking and packing and stacking for the next couple of days. And so that's where I'm going to be, and that's where I've been, and all the things. So until next time, friends, I hope you have lots of stitching, lots of happy times, enjoy the spring. I can't garden. I can't do my trees. I can't do my flowers. We're not going to focus on things I can't do. I'm going to get some crackers finished. Woo. That I can do. And I'm excited. I'll have a little cracker family. I need a cracker basket to put my cracker family in. So, #goals. Until next time, friends, happy stitching.